When I did the video on the entire mod list for the Cobra, the very intro part, I did a cold start with the Cobra backing out of the garage. I had to edit that quite a bit to cut this part out, which I'll show you now. So as you can see, the Cobra's got some problems. My first initial thought was valve seals, and I contacted the shop where I have all the work done. I sent a small video clip of it to Aaron, and he confirmed. Well, his first question was it a cold start? And I said yes. The car had been sitting for a total of 5 days from the last time that I had run it, and from what he said, it's most likely the valve seals are shot. One of the last things I planned on doing with this car was having the engine open up to have work done on it. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to avoid that with the situation I'm in now. Of course, these mod motors are not cheap to have stuff done on them. We went over a rough price estimate for what everything will cost, because it's not just doing valve seals. I should have a lot of things upgraded while I'm in there because it makes the most sense to do it at that time. So other than the valve seals is probably new timing chains, not just the chains but the entire set, the guides, everything that goes with it. Gonna upgrade the oil pump, most likely doing head studs on it, and we talked about doing ARP rod bolts on it. Then of course there's a machine work for the heads and all that stuff. So in all, it's a pretty steep project to have done. And I guess one other positive is that with doing all of these additional upgrades, I will set this up to make big power if I ever want to push it further. So at least those things will already be taken care of. It will have an upgraded oil pump, upgraded head studs on it from, you know, the standard bolts that come on it. So at least the potential is there if I ever want to push this thing more than where it's at right now, because the VMP Gen 3R that's on it will push so much more than what I'm doing with it right now. So you may be thinking, man, that really sucks. I'm glad that's not me. I wish I could do something to help. But the positive thing about all this is that there is something you can do to help. You can go back and watch every single one of my videos around 10 or 15 times and don't skip any ads at all.
You gotta be kidding me.
Do you think I'm kidding?
But in all seriousness, this of course is going to be a winter project. The car is fine to drive right now. I started it up this morning. I'm on the way to a car show. It didn't smoke, but it only been sitting overnight, where before it had been sitting for 5 days, and now oil had time to seep down past the valves. So I don't doubt that there's definitely an issue going on with it. It's not actively burning oil when I'm driving it. It was only on that startup, and I didn't notice it before. This is the first time I noticed it, so I think it may have just started at that point, or maybe like the drive before. I just didn't notice it at that time, and the reason why I did this time is because I had the camera set up in the back to record the cold start, and then just a big cloud of blue smoke came out, as you saw in the beginning of the video. On the safe side, I did check the oil yesterday, and the oil level is absolutely fine. I'm not losing any oil, at least at this point. So I'm going to keep driving it like I have been throughout the summer. I'm determined that this car will not be down for the summertime. And of course, all this could be worse. I mean, I could have grenaded the engine, anything like that, which would require like an entire rebuild. This is only taking the heads off, but it's still opening up the engine, and it's an expensive job. I mean, we talked about rough numbers at the beginning, and it's not cheap. I haven't talked about it with the shop yet, but I will bring this up when I go to talk to him again. Is I would like to go down there and film a lot of this process, like the day that I know the engine is coming out, taking the heads off, all that stuff. I would really like to be able to record all that. It's going to require a lot of back and forth driving for me, but I'm going to try to take this and turn it into as much of a positive thing for the channel as much as I can. So if I can record that stuff and put it out there for people to watch, I'll, count that as a small win. I'll look into it more as far as doing the Torco pull on the dyno. I'm pretty sure doing some hard pulls with it is not going to hurt it in any way. It's just that the valve seals are not fully sealing as they should be, so the oil is seeping down past the valve. So it shouldn't have any effect on driving the car hard or anything like that, like on a dyno pull, but I'll double check to be sure. And if I can still get the dyno pull in with the Torco, I'll do that, because I really would like to have a pull on Torco as it sits now, so I have something to compare it to with the long tubes once those go on, which obviously those will be going on when the engine comes out for all the work on the heads and everything else. So that will do it for this video. Not the best news that I like to bring to the channel, but like I said before, I'll try to make it into as much of a positive as I can with trying to get some more videos filmed of the process and all that. So in the comments down below, let me know what unexpected things happened with your build or your car, where just out of the blue something hit you, blindside, and kind of changed your plans and everything else as far as what you had planned on doing with the car. Because now there were things that I was going to do with this that aren't going to happen, because this, of course, gets pushed to the forefront and has to be taken care of first before I start doing the other things that I have planned for it. If you feel bad and feel sorry for me, leave me a like. If you're new here to the channel, subscribe to see the rejuvenation of the engine and the partial rebuild of fixing this problem with the heads and everything else. So hopefully it will come out better than it was, and it pulls some really good numbers when I get the final dyno number done with the Torco and the long tubes and all that. With all that being said, thanks for watching.